All right, we start this quest journey, fun travel, towards kind of the Bryant Irving area of Fort Worth, which I'm pretty far from now. I don't know. I know how to make the drinks at Einstein Bagels. Here, let me switch over.
Please subscribe show. YouTube Cole Spivey. Yeah, man.
Inside here, so here we go.
Please subscribe show. YouTube Cole Spivey.
I know how to make the drinks at Einstein Bagels, so I can do a caramel macchiato, and if you want a cold brew, vanilla cold brew, or even a vanilla cold brew shake and all that stuff. I know how to do all that stuff, to the cue. And also I know how to ring people up. I can ring anything up. A few of the sandwiches I'm a little rusty on. I can do like an all-nighter, or I can do a farmhouse. Well, maybe the farmhouse I'd have to look at, but I can do like a pepperoni pizza bagel. I can do an all-nighter. I'm trying to think of the other one that I know. Oh yeah, I know the turkey one. Tasty turkey, I can do that one. I think that one is basically, I want to say it's on an Asiago. And it's got, I want to say maybe cream cheese. They do like regular cream cheese and I think pepper. So they call it country pepper. I think that one is right. Or onion. No, they do onion and chive and pepper. And then they lay down like cucumbers, spinach, tomatoes. I think they put onions on it, red onions. And then I think when they lay it down, it goes meat, cheese. And I think it's the tasty turkey is, I would guess probably American cheese, but it's probably, it might be, I don't know if it's, okay, I have to look on what type of cheese it is. Tasty turkey, I don't know if it's American or not, but for example, the all-nighter is pretty easy. It's like your classic breakfast sandwich, or really what it is, it's kind of like a classic breakfast. So it comes on a cheesy hash brown bagel, and what they do is they lay down it's going to be like an aioli, or aioli is how you say it, aioli, which is basically like a aioli is basically like a mayo. They only have one aioli. It's like Chipotle aioli or something anyway. It's the aioli one. Okay, so what they do is they lay down I believe it's gonna be all American cheese or American cheese. But they're gonna do meat cheese. So it'll be meat first. So it's gonna be, I'm trying to think. Just think of like, because they do eggs. So they basically would do the cheese, I guess you could say bacon, and then egg, or it's meat, egg, meat, and cheese. So it's egg, they lay the egg down first. So it's egg, then the meat is probably like bacon, and then the cheese is probably all American cheese. And I think they do it twice. So it goes egg, bacon, cheese, egg, bacon, cheese, and then they put the top of the cheesy hash brown on the top. And that's basically what they call the all-nighter. It's basically, think of it like a regular breakfast that you would have with cheesy hash brown. You're gonna have your bacon, you're gonna have your eggs, you're gonna have your cheese, which is all-American cheese, and that's what Einstein's bagels, or Einstein Brother bagels, calls the all-nighter. Now the farmhouse, I would guess, is probably with the cheesy hash brown too. You could certainly have it with the cheesy hash brown. I don't think it would be with the Asiago, but it is with the cheesy hash brown probably too. And cheesy hash brown bagel. You can always add a hash brown on any meal for part of the meal, if you want. If it's like $1.69 for an extra hash brown. They're little, almost like, they look kind of like a cupcake hash brown. They're very, very small cupcake, kind of cheesy hash brown. But the cheesy hash brown bagel is with the farmhouse. And the farmhouse is going to be very similar to the all-nighter, only, I don't know. The farmhouse, like I said, I don't know all the sandwiches. But the farmhouse is going to have the egg, it's going to have the cheese and the meat. And it's going to be, I don't know if it's, I think it's going to have the garden vegetable smear, maybe. I don't know. I have to look it up. I have it all took photos of all the directions on all the sandwiches. But the sandwiches are pretty much the only thing that I didn't really make very much. You know, I served bagels, sliced them, rang up the orders, and made the drinks. The drinks are pretty easy, you know. There's really no hard drink to make, really. You just hit either one espresso or double espresso, depending on the size of the drink. Now, some of the cold drinks can be confusing because sometimes you will basically put a hot espresso shot in, like, let's say if you're doing a cold brew. I don't know, not a cold brew. If you're doing an iced caramel macchiato, that's what I was trying to say. Then you are going to put basically, like, let's say if you do a large iced caramel macchiato, which is a 24 ounce. You're going to probably put the caramel in first. You can put it in last to make it look better, but it goes in first, and then you put it, because you want to melt it. You melt it with the espresso shot, which would be 2 espresso shots. Then you add the milk to the line, and then you put ice in it last to control it. Now what I do sometimes is I put a little extra shot of caramel on the top, so it kind of comes down like the picture. So it looks very caramel macchiato. And also on the photo, the caramel macchiato has whipped cream. And that one can be tough to make if it's cold, because you have to use the ice to control it. The Please Subscribe show begins in 3 seconds. 2. That was Trinity Valley. That's the old school I used to work at for about a semester. I was a teacher there. All right, so I just read about Phoebe Bridges and her abortion and everything, and I just want to make a comment, okay? Because I'm part of the Men Too movement, all right? So we're Men Too. That's how you do it. Men, for all you men, too. Or you can just go like that. M2. Think of Mission Impossible 2. Okay. That's fine, you know. I mean, I'll still occasionally listen to your music and everything. Excuse the Dutch angle happening. But why do we have to know? You know, if I went out and, let's say, oh, Dutch angle. If I went out and aborted some child, would I sit there and brag about it in front of the public, or talk about it, or support it? You know, the days, how I say it this way, the days of women's lib and Roe versus Wade, those days are kind of behind us in a way. That's like from the 60s when everybody was crazy. It's not brave of you to step out in front of the public and tell everyone that you aborted. Now, I know that that's happened to many women, but I'm saying to go and support it. Why would you support it? Would you sit there and tell your children, if you will have children, and you probably will one day, are you going to tell your children that you're an abortion supporter? It's going to make your children feel very strange. why would you want people to know? And why, you know, it's strange because we're all abortion survivors. We all survived abortion. You survived abortion, Phoebe Bridges. You actually survived it. So why would you want everybody to know? You know, you're not going to get any kind of, the devil is not going to give you any kind of special benefit for telling everybody and supporting his ways. Because I can tell you one thing, God doesn't support it, or you wouldn't be here. You know, I don't know. Yeah, okay, women's lib. All right, let's go around and make our choices, you know. I'm not going to call it cowardly, but I'm not going to call it brave either. You know, it's not, I'm not going to, like what Hillary Clinton said about 9/11, you know, that was a cowardly act. Well, those guys died for that cause. They died for that cause, for the cause that they believed in. A lot of people died too. But they're kind of abortion supporters too, in a way. I know that's a confusing thing to say, but what I'm trying to say is that killing is killing no matter how you do it. Whether you run an airplane or a commercial airliner into 9/11, or you kill, you know, or a group of 30 million women silently kill babies that never get a chance to come into the world, it's still murder. So it's the same thing as if a terrorist got up there and said, "Oh, I committed a terrorist act and I'm proud of it," you know, which that's horrible to say. And if a woman gets out in front of the public and says, "Oh, I proudly killed an unborn baby," and I'm showing everybody and telling everybody that I support that, it's the same thing. Murder is murder any way you look at it. And if it's not murder, then what is it? You know? Scientifically prove that if you did not kill that child, it would not have come into this world. So it's murder. You can't scientifically prove that your actions saved the child, but you can scientifically prove that your actions killed the unborn child. There's a difference between the two. See? You can't go up in front of a court or a judge and say, Your Honor, the reason I killed this unborn child was because I was trying to save a life, or whatever, like my own, or whatever. I don't think any woman can ever say that, because there's been babies born during wartime. There's been babies born during all different type of circumstances. So they can't prove ever that the child would kill the woman, because they have medical science that can remove the child by cesarean and all different kinds of ways. I just don't support any form of abortion for any reason at all. So I'm gonna think twice before, you know, when I'm hearing a Phoebe Bridges song, I'm like, oh, is this about abortion?
All right, you okay?
What I usually do is I de-yolk all my eggs, and then you have to pile it on here because you only get one trip, so that's pretty much everything. The sad situation is once I de-yolk the eggs, a lot of times the birds or the ravens will come over and they'll actually eat the yolk. It's pretty weird. But anyway. See what I mean? They come after your food here. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. The birds will actually go for that yolk. That's what's weird. It's very strange. All right, I topped it off with getting a little Diet Coke from Jason's Deli.